Okay, welcome back to this Slackware current install. This is the ISO for the actually April 28th or May 1st. I'll be sure to include a link to the download site in the description below. Of course, this is not an official distribution, but it's just just what it is. Okay, this will be a complete install video. Start from this screen all the way back to booting back up into the desktop. Of course, I'm also going to include a timestamps in the description. You can jump ahead to whatever sections you want to. You should start out as always. Boot. Make sure you choose the right model, the right CPU, or the right Linux distribution, so it recognizes your CPU. If you get a message that says something like, "Well, that your kernel's not supported," what I do, I just use from Oracle Virtual Machine. I choose the generic Linux, other Linux 64. Okay. So what we'll do is so what we're going to do, we're actually going to do new. We're not actually going to create a swap partition. Okay. So you're going to set up and help Slackware help add target. There we go, 58 gigabytes. Copy on write, interesting. Slackware CD-ROM. Now we're actually not going to install everything. We're not going to install source, okay, or even KDE. We're only interested in the XFC desktop, okay? X Windows, type setting, text is kind of interesting. Of course, the FAQ list, how-tos. Linux has a long history of writing really good FAQs and how-to lists. It's very concise, very easy to follow steps, okay? Let's begin. We're going to use a terse. You can also do an Alt F2, for instance, and come over here. Now you're in the kernel. Now you're into a shell. And you can see that SD1 is underneath mount, okay? So let's just let this run for a while and it'll finish on its own.
underneath, they seem sturdy enough. Obviously, everything here will be a lot stiffer and tighter once you have everything tied or tagged into the sides, and also on the tagging those beams underneath here. They also need some carbon on the bottom of them to give them back the full strength, because obviously now they are sandwich beams, but they're on the tall side like this, and there's no fibers on the underside there. So if we add that, they will be even stiffer. And then of course we will tab them in to the depth as well. Now we're going to have a slight tilt on the aspect here. Not enough that it's something that you will notice, but enough to get any water, rain flowing up in that direction and not into the cockpit. And we're also going to have two hatches, one here and one on this side, and they will be flush so that they're not obstructing anything when they're closed from this area. It'd be nice just sitting here. I think it's a good height between the platform and the deck. Just stand like this. It's big enough area so that you can, I don't know, do some exercise back here. So lamination on the inside, and once we're done with that, or maybe in parallel, we're going to start working on the deck house, and that's another thing that will be really exciting to do, because once we have that in place, we will have the outside look of the boat in place. The roof on that is going to be a big shaft. It's a really big piece, 13 square meters, and we're going to have twice the thickness of the core in that to make it stiff, and also to be room for some cables and couplers inside of it. A lot of silk glass and lots of foam, and I don't know really how we're going to do it here, but I want to do it in one piece if possible. And then for the sides, we're going to have all our windows. The project calls to an old-fashioned village called the village, where a group of people from the village have lived as they work together. It's only 26 years old, and it's built after a sailboat from the 1800s. It did diggings to the harbor, and after 4.5 years, they launched their electricity sleepway. Okay, so there's no more postponing the inside lamination now. The padding, I really need to get that done now. So that's the next step. And to do that, I need to remove the half deck first.
finished the half marathon?
Okay. The two worst cases are in place now. Okay, so maybe the worst cases are silently processed. But I think this is it for this week's episode. There's quite a lot of tabbing and editing left here, so it will stretch into next week's episode, I guess. So thanks a lot for watching, and we hope to see you back here next week.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be a marathon, not a, right? Hey, okay, welcome back. As you can see, the install process is finished. So now what we're going to do, we're going to skip making a boot stick. Simple Lilo. Let's go ahead and do something crazy like that for our kernel. Master boot record. Now I'll point out that Linux uses in some ways is an older distribution. This doesn't really make any difference. Yeah. Configure network, host name, that's Slacker. At home. No. Network manager complete. Basic network configuration is complete. Okay, good. Do this. No. Hardware clock is set to UTC. Let's try that. US Eastern. Now, one of the things you notice is that we do have some window manager. Fluxblock, Backsblock, WMaker. This is actually a very old window manager. I don't even think it's actually being maintained anymore. FEWM2 is sort of like the Windows 95 version of. Well, no, what it is. Fluxbox, what do you think? Let's go Backbox. Okay, and what do we say? We create a password, enter a strong and complicated password, right? Oh. Right, we always say create a strong and complicated password. Right? It's complete. Reboot your system. Exit. Reboot. So let's come back over here. Settings. Okay. Storage. So it automatically download it. And of course, by default, Slackware does not have a graphical login manager. Okay, you log into your account. Okay, and then you run start X. So I'm gonna hold to the time-honored tradition and not using a graphical window manager on Slackware. Again, what is this? This is Slackware current as of for May of 2026. Again, I'll include a link in the description below. You notice these things up here? Those apparently represent, depending what supposedly represent processors. So I set aside four processors. Remember that? Okay. What was I saying? Oh yes. I will include a link in the description to how you go and download the current for yourself. The author seems to update them like once a month. Okay. So this is April 28, which means probably it's going to be it for the month of May. So we got this here. Okay. Clear it. Enter login name DAVDJ. Of course, giving someone the finger has a completely different meaning in the Linux world it does in the real world. Okay, Office. Let's see. Another strong and complicated password, right? Huh? Now, there's something I say. Well, Slackware really isn't isn't really, isn't like, Fedora or something. Yeah, you're right. It's not like Fedora. It was never intended to be like Fedora. Okay. So this is interesting. Xterm. Let's do KConsole. So, let's try something more basic. Interesting. It isn't terminal UXVT. Okay, so we got UXVT to work. UXVT is an older. Oh, there's Xterm. You notice that there's no terminal here. I mean, there's no backdrop. So it could be KConsole. This isn't here. Yeah. So we can use UXVT. This, of course, is a very old. So anyway, so we use up 35%, which is a lot compared to other distributions. You also remember so we got 18 used, 36 gigabytes available. Remember, the space is also being dynamically applied. Okay, so we got terminal, we got network. So the question is, terminals. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. Skip. Start browsing. So can we take this? So we got two workstations, right? At least two. Yeah. So let's come back over here. So that works. So what you see is that browser. news, editors, EVIM. I don't know what EVIM is. That's interesting. You notice you got Joe and Jed. These are things that are really kind of unique to Slackware Linux. You don't see Joe and Jed on any other thing. These are sort of like Joe's own Emacs and Jed's and stuff like that. Okay, Emacs. Let's check Emacs. There's Emacs. You can see this is pretty late. 30.2. Notice there's no background here. There's no pop-up menu. Okay, there's no background menu. System tools, burning. Okay, so you can see here you got different styles, right? But you don't have the fancy, what do you got down here? A-board, export, X-snow, X-eyes. X-eyes is kind of funny. What it does is, it follows the mouse around. Okay? It follows the mouse around. Office, Xcalc is interesting. What is Xcalc? Oh, it's just a calculator program. Office, CV, Xcalc, Kcalc, multimedia, okay, Conqueror, MC. MC is, of course, is the open source version of the old, what was it called, Midnight Commander? Who was that? Who had a Midnight Commander? Editors, Nano, Vim, Kate. What's Emacs NW? Education, GNU plot. Okay, so how do we actually get out of here? Let's try exit. Okay, again, this that was what, Blackbox, is that right? That's what we're going to do here. We're going to go back. We're going to add myself to the Sudo file. Okay. Anyways, let's do shutdown minus let's try some. try shutdown in that case. Okay. So what is the let's just do a quick answer over here. It's been a while. Oh, okay, very nice. You know, I actually thought, believe it or not, I actually thought it was something like that. I just can't remember what it was. What's this now? Shutdown H now. There you go. Remember that shutdown H now. And that brings this session to a close. How long was this session? About 55 minutes.